boy, did live video become a big deal again, or what? Sarcasm aside, the rise of live streaming taking root the way that it has is pretty impressive. It wasn't that long ago that network providers were terrified everyone was going to cut cords in favor of on-demand services like Netflix and Hulu. And how could they not? The ability to watch content on our own time frees us exponentially from the need to be tethered to time slots or schedule our lives around the next big reveal on television. I know it's made my life more enjoyable. Yet, the idea of being able to tune in live and share an experience has led to a massive rise in usage of live video platforms like Twitch, Facebook Live, and now YouTube. It's that one I want to focus on today. With it being the latest to the game in terms of decent live streaming content, it's become also the new hub for controversy. Chief among these involve, unsurprisingly, a video game streamer. Zoe Burger is what many refer to as a bikini streamer. That is, a game streamer who wears clothing that leaves a little less to the imagination than what most of us would wear. Zoe used to stream on Twitch, but has recently been moving to YouTube with the platform's reach into Twitch's domain with live streaming. Her transition to YouTube brought with it the controversy that she and other female streamers have courted regarding their choices of clothing. And trust me, she's not alone on that. More interestingly is the fact that the response from YouTube's users was similar to what you might expect, but it manifested differently than it would on, say, Twitch. Naturally, there was garbage in the comments, but no big surprise there. But many tubers also made their own video responses to the quick rise of Zoe's popularity, with a lot of the anger coming from other gaming channels. These creators offered such helpful critiques, such as calling Zoe a whore, slut, skank, cam girl, and also called her content unoriginal and not worthwhile, and all of them calling on YouTube to completely remove her from the platform. Now, I could spend time pointing out that this kind of behavior happens often on YouTube, but that's basically wasting my time. But this particular chain of events has an air about it that requires a closer look. First and foremost, let me be clear. Successful streamers tend to know their crap when it comes to the content that they produce, especially because it's live, and Zoe Burger is no different. I've gone over her streams that have been on YouTube for research. Yeah, I realize that's so difficult. And I have to say, she's good at this. Her overlay is clean, green screen effects aren't shoddy, she actually checks her equipment before jumping into things instead of trying to fix it while in the middle of a game. She actually has a schedule, and that's pretty important for live streaming, and knows exactly how that schedule is going to play out. And also, the games that she streams, she's pretty good at. Really. See, a lot of people are mad that she does a celebratory twerk every time she gets a kill cam in Black Ops 3, but the only reason that's a sellable feature of her show is because she gets kill cams. So, from a purely technical standpoint, this seems to line up with other game streaming content. Oh, and for the couple of pre-recorded footage videos she's posted, they're edited pretty well and framed properly, which makes them better than a lot of the crap that even I make, for crying out loud. I want to stress that last point, because a lot of the flaming doesn't actually seem to be criticizing the technical prowess of her content. But you know someone's going to try to defend all this under the lines such as, "Come on, her stuff isn't even that good." So with that pointed out, let's focus in on what the problem a lot of people are having is actually the bikini part of the bikini streamer title. Remember again the words that a lot of critics use to describe Zoe, and you'll see what I mean. People simply do have a problem with the choice of attire and behavior. And let's take a look at this in depth. No, not like that, come on! The one valid concern that I could see comes in part from the way Zoe depicts herself. Several of her streams carry titles such as "Banned Twitch Streamer Plays Black Ops 3. And in fairness, Zoe has been soft banned on the Twitch platform in the past, and she herself acknowledges that at least some of these are completely valid, but argues that she's modified her presentation in response to those instances. And Twitch's terms of service were changed recently with an intention to put a stop to the discussion about what streamers should wear by setting a very extensive code. Oh, and a lot of people used the PS4 when it first came out to stream amateur porn, that is themselves having sex, so they kinda needed to shut all of that down. YouTube, on the other hand, doesn't have that extensive terms. But I took a look at the standards that YouTube does have when it comes to sexuality and its usage and content. I'm not going to read it back to you, but to sum it up basically, YouTube really only takes stuff down if it genuinely depicts pornographic action, you know, the nitty gritty. And even then, YouTube insists that context is the main goal of their analysis when it comes to what gets removed. Funny thing, this actually happened in gaming YouTube over with #1 Boglin boy Jim Sterling. He put up a semi-serious review of that Overwatch porno and included some imagery because, well, he's Jim Sterling's son. YouTube took it down, but after an appeal, actually restored the video, but without monetization, which is reasonable given the content. In a majority of other situations, YouTube will instead age-gate the videos. The list of things that would get this result is actually more comprehensive, and believe it or not, Zoe Berger's videos are both age-gated and demonetized under these terms, and it lines up with YouTube's previous behavior. Alright, so YouTube doesn't seem to have a problem with Zoe Berger as a whole. What else do we have? There's the argument that Zoe's behavior will distract from the gameplay being presented. The argument here is that the suggestive content that she's creating is what people tune in for, and not the video game being played. And I can see that a little bit, I suppose. On the one hand, once you've seen Call of Duty multiplayer, you could probably go 2 whole years without ever needing to see it again. On the other hand, yeah, people are definitely tuning in to watch Zoe. But isn't that the point? Don't people watch PewDiePie or Markiplier or Grand Pooh Bear or whoever else for that person's presentation? Don't forget, Zoe doesn't get the twerk show going unless she's playing the game well. So that creates a need for the audience to want her to do well, right? Oh, but it's sexy content. It's undermining the purpose of the video game itself, isn't it? Doesn't this reflect badly on gamers, especially female gamers? Doesn't this take away from games as a medium for entertainment and lower its quality, Mr. Games Are Art Critic? Well, that doesn't seem to have been a problem before. Remember just a while back when PlayAsia had a bunch of folks up in arms because they had somehow been convinced Dead or Alive Extreme 3 wasn't being released in the States? Wasn't because Tecmo Koei didn't want to spend money localizing a game that had already an English version on its region-unlocked disc, but because people were actively trying to censor it? How on earth is Zoe Berger considered a cancer on gaming, but Tina Armstrong is the emblem of free speech? Then, there's the game that convinced me this episode was necessary. A new game on Steam called Haiti. Look at this thing. That is some of the most ridiculous misunderstanding of how physics, let alone the physics of a woman's breasts, actually work. This game was sitting near the top of the Steam charts over the past weekend, and no prize to the person who guesses why. But streamers wouldn't have taken advantage of this opportunity, right? You know, to preserve the dignity of their content? Yeah, so, you know, for all that toxicity crap about, like, sexuality on streams, look at all these streams about Haiti. Look at all of these. That one's 4 hours long. That's a 4-hour-long stream that someone did of Haiti. That game with horrible breast physics that I just showed you. Look, here's a bunch of them. That one's 2 hours. And look, they made sure the snapshot was her buttocks. Look at the cancer. Yeah, about that. And most feminists, even if they disagree about the levels of it, aren't anti-sex or sexuality, but they have issues with the presentation of that sexuality. See, as I understand it, the issue is significantly more with the agency of the woman that's being presented than what she's actually wearing. Is she dressing and acting in the way that she wants to, or is she just appealing to the male gaze because something else is setting her up like that? Zoe is definitely appealing to the male gaze, don't get me wrong, but she's doing so on her terms, on her agreement, with herself in control, with her level of comfortability, while still following the rules. And it's working, that's for sure. It's to the tune of 400,000 subscribers and counting. Perhaps you have a problem with that. Maybe you think she doesn't deserve the attention, or that she's appealing to the lowest common denominator in order to score a ton of subs. Maybe you even think that she's stealing subscribers from channels, maybe even your channel. Well, tough! That's the same logical fallacy used by game publishers who blame used games for lost sales. Something isn't lost if it wasn't there to begin with. Look, I've got a solid 22 subscribers right now, which is alright, I guess, but I'd like to be growing more. You know whose fault that isn't, though? Zoe Berger's, or PewDiePie's, or Clara Babylegs, or whoever else. It's mine. If I want to grow, I have to keep making the best content that I can and continue to improve it. That's the rules of the game, folks. Content is king. Make content people want to see. I mean, come on, any idiot with a decent internet connection can stream these days, this idiot included. Not all of it's going to be Emmy-winning entertainment. You might not like that people like Zoe's content, but again, tough! Yet, that brings us to the most skin-crawling part of this whole story. The possibility that another YouTuber actually contacted a member of YouTube's policy team and tried to get Zoe Burger's channel removed. No, that apparently happened. Look.
When I just wanted to update you, I just got off the phone with YouTube, and unfortunately I have some bad news. Policy team did review it at my request today, and unfortunately they said that there was no problem with Zoe Burger's channel that they can see. So I don't know, I think policy needs to get fired. They're not honoring their TOS. So with that said, you guys, it looks like she's not going to be banned.
Now, as you can see from that video, they told him to screw off, and there's a chance he's full of crap in the first place. But you know what? I don't care. The reality that any other creator on YouTube could be in a situation where they think they could call someone up and get an entire channel killed is literally the most terrifying thing I can imagine on this platform, and we're not even 3 weeks away from that god-awful YouTube Heroes idea. Imagine for a moment if Matt Groening called up Fox Broadcasting and had Family Guy struck down because it got to tell a dirtier joke than he did, much less taking down a show he didn't like, I don't know, Joe Millionaire? I wasn't kidding about that I only watch streaming shows now. Is that still a relevant joke? Anyway, that guy who tried to get the channel killed, he has more subscribers than Zoe Burger already. Seriously, somehow, even people with more viewers are scared. Look, a sexy woman on the screen isn't going to be the end-all be-all when it comes to attracting viewers or taking them away from other content. If that were the case, people wouldn't be watching MSNBC or CNN, and we'd all be getting informed by naked news. By the way, how on earth are YouTubers actually trying to get this stuff shut down on the back end, while T. Martin and Pro Syndicate got themselves into a gambling scam so deep the rest of the internet actually cared about Counter-Strike for a while, and everyone's seemingly gotten over that? No, I haven't forgotten that one either. I think by now I've brought up enough evidence to bring up the real charge, the real problem people have with streamers like this. The issue that sits at the heart of this, intentionally or not, is institutionalized sexism. Oh, sorry, that was the sound of the comments section going straight to hell without passing go. Yes, there is sexism at the core of these complaints. No, I don't think most people are women haters, but you don't have to be to fall into the trappings of these built-in sexist tropes. Tropes that work, such as, for example, criticizing a woman's presentation as opposed to, saying, criticizing the body of one's work like one might the pubes. People are defaulted to having a problem with a woman being overtly sexual in a way that the woman is fully in control of, a la good girls don't, bad girls do. The talking down to Zoe Burger or Clara Babylegs or anyone else in this group is rooted in the idea that for some inexplicable reason, this is automatically inappropriate. And yes, that's sexist. You know what else is sexist? Harassing other female streamers who are more conservative because they don't show more skin, and you know that crap happens all the time. See, the real problem in all of this is the peanut gallery, male and female, thinks it's okay, and they get the privilege to tell women how to dress. It's not okay to do that in the workforce, it's not okay to do that in your personal relationships, and it is not okay to do online. Let me repeat that. It's not okay. You can't have Quiet in Metal Gear Solid 5 and demand that she be protected from critique, and then also demand Zoe Burger be banned from the internet. You can't still have Pro Syndicate running around like he's never done anything sketchy in his life, and then call Clara Babylegs a gold digger. And you sure can't have Smosh do this dressed the way that they are, and then call women doing the same a cancer. As much as I don't want to borrow a South Park lesson, mostly because it's arch and doesn't allow for nuance, I think it applies well here. Either it's all okay, or none of it is. There are plenty of places and venues and times when sexually suggestive content isn't appropriate, but a space where a woman has decided that it is for herself, isn't assaulting or trampling on anyone else, and the platform it's on doesn't seem to care, that really isn't anyone else's business. You don't have to watch or like Zoe Burger's content, but you don't get to just make it go away either. And y'all really shouldn't let that bother you so much. Especially since there's so much actual garbage on this site. Ugh. Hey, yeah, guy from the internet video you just watched. This is a little addendum. See, the video was actually supposed to go up already, be done, over with completely. It took a little bit longer because I had to watch like hours of video to prepare for it. That's why it was so late anyway. But it was more late because as I was getting ready to finish finalizing, this that you're seeing on the screen came my way earlier this afternoon. This being Friday, when the video first went up. So what we've got here is something I didn't talk about in the video proper because I didn't think it was going to be a big deal. But if you see here in this clip here, you'll see the little character Dr. Zoidberg from Futurama, and Zoe is called her group, the Zoidberg Nation. It's kind of funny that this clip is from the same clip that I used for the video. Anyway, that's not the point. The point is, Fox is now displeased with the amount of money, or maybe the popularity, or maybe that she offered to put out nude videos in between me making my video and this. But something set off Fox, and they sent a cease and desist. She demanding that she stop using Zoidberg as the association creates consumer confusion because users encountering it will assume that Fox sponsors, endorses, or authorizes the use of Fox IP or the content of your channel when neither is true. I didn't bring this up in the video, mostly because there are a lot more streamers that do this, including streamers that I know personally, that do use these licensed characters in like GIFs or as icons or anything. Far as I know, that's actually not okay. I've just never seen a company actually bring down the hammer on it, so it didn't really seem relevant at the time. But now, since Fox does have the potential to put these videos down themselves, it bears an acknowledgement that, yeah, that's probably something that might happen. What they're asking is for her to just cease using it, but they may go after her money, they might go after her channel, her videos. As a part of the cease and desist, Fox, quote, wants her to remove permanently all references to Futurama from her YouTube channel, along from all social media, and Facebook, Twitter, etc. So, yeah. Just know if Fox does this, they're absolutely within their rights to do so. I don't think it disqualifies anything I was saying in my video, but it is worth pointing out that this is a thing that happened between me writing the script and recording and finishing editing and today. So, just so you guys know too, you'll notice that there's been a change between the top clip and the bottom clip here. You'll notice she changed it to Zoidberg Nation instead of the Zoidberg Nation. And the avatar's been removed too. Other than that, the overlay looks exactly the same. Obviously with a little bit different color scheme too, because it matched the Zoidberg color scheme. But yeah, there's not really much more to say on it right now, because I mean, if she just plays by the rules like this, takes down the other videos, just like she's done before, adapts to the rules and changes her content, we'll see if she stays relevant that way. Yeah, still don't tell women how to dress though. Either way, whether they wear not a lot of clothes or a lot of clothes, don't tell women how to dress. That's the moral of the video. I guess also maybe don't steal content. If that's, you know, don't put characters in your stream. Seems reasonable.